Okay, chat. So you guys know I recently covered this on a live stream. This whole, I like to call it the titty milk discourse or the titty milk debate. We have this content creator who is a trans advocate known as NominalNaomi, which you guys all know NominalNaomi because of the fact that I did the reaction to the infamous slavery debate. If you haven't checked that out, check out her original video on it or check out my reaction, whatever one better suits you. But we found out about NominalNaomi through that, and I have been like a fan of her content ever since, right? But she kind of went viral over this TikTok she posted where she talked about how she was about to be a mother and she had induced lactation as a trans woman so she can breastfeed her child. Now, me being a normal functioning human that doesn't give a fuck about what people do in their personal lives, I just said, congrats on being, you know, a soon to be mother. And like, I didn't think anything of it. But of course, a bunch of people in like the far right got super mad about it, like super fucking triggered. For those of you guys who haven't seen the TikTok yet, I'll go ahead and I'll play it for you guys. It was posted by the Twitter account Clown World. But I'm going to go ahead and play the TikTok for you guys who may not be familiar with this situation so you can see what kind of started this whole thing.
Cow achievement. Trans women can indeed lactate. You would follow the Newman-Goldfarb protocol, a medical protocol designed to help women induce lactation if they were not like getting pregnant themselves. I'm gonna be a mother. That's in the works, in the process. And part of that process is that I am working to induce lactation to be able to breastfeed our youngest child. Yeah,
Thanks for the money, you fucking simp.
Thank you. Gizmo Hibiki, I didn't read yours. It says, try to relax your anus, your shoulders. Oh, wait, this isn't Review Tech USA. My bad. Show your tippy milk. No. Although, let's be real. If I had induced lactation with these massive, like, man boobies right here, I could probably produce some serious, like, milk output for sure.
I actually already successfully induced lactation. Like, I can actually make milk now, which has been a very interesting and very cool experience. It's, like, very biologically affirming, too, which is something that's, like, gatekept from trans women, like, so difficult. Both motherly and...
Okay, so there's the TikTok that a lot of people took issue with. And again, like, I didn't think this was a big deal because, one, like, you know, motherhood is an exciting time and she's very clearly excited about it. So I was like, congratulations about that. Not only that, but I actually got good grades in biology class in high school. So I know that, like, you know, both men and women at birth, like, they have the necessary hardware, for lack of a better phrase, to produce lactation in their body. Like, it's there. The only thing that's needed is the, like, hormone process. I'm not a doctor, so I don't know, like, the technical terminology of it, but the hormones necessary to make you actually lactate, right? Like, men don't naturally, like, produce that. But basically speaking, like, if I were to take supplements that were to give me the proper hormone imbalance, I could lactate. Now, would I have any reason to want to do that? No, I don't. But as a trans woman who has a child, right, there would be legitimate reasons for doing that. And this is something that's already been done for many, many years. This has started like in the early 2000s where like people have been doing this, like if they are adoptive parents or if they have like a surrogate mother or something like that. They've been doing this so they can breastfeed their children. And it's been proven to be safe ever since then, in the early 2000s. And as far as like trans people is concerned, it's been done to trans people since 2018. So this is not a new thing. This is something that's been thoroughly tested for quite some time, and it's safe to do, right? But somehow people on the right made a big fucking deal about it as if it's some like horrific, like scientific experiment or some shit, right? And like, it's just not. And then of course you have the people that want to make, oh my God, let's turn this into like grooming or let's make this sexual or whatever. So we can really play into the whole, like all trans people are like groomers and pedophiles and that kind of retarded shit. Like this is a nothing burger, but still people found a way to be upset about it. So there was someone who approached Naomi and said, hey, I want to do a debate with you about the situation. Does she say who this person is that she's debating in here? Does anybody know who the person is that she's debating? Because I got to be honest, I don't remember who this is. If somebody knows in the chat, let me know. But somebody basically said they wanted to debate Naomi on this, and so she uploaded a video to her YouTube channel about it. Sloshed clout shark demolished in trans lactation debate. So we're going to take a look at this. I'll just kind of give my thoughts as we go along. So without further ado,
play that shit!
Here we go.
Just shut up with your nasally voice and let me speak for a second. Yeah. It's
Oh boy, we can already tell that this debate is going to go well because she's resorting to insults, chat. You know when you have to resort to insults during a debate that you're probably not doing very well. Holy shit.
Sorry, why would you call me that? That's very rude. We're here to talk about the Mommy Naomi milking discourse. I think that the subject is pretty clear.
The fact that there is online discourse about titty milk. Oh my god. Somebody in the chat is saying, let me speak. Yes, she literally pulls a Bo Black style, let me speak. Let me speak! She literally does that. Insults out the gate. To be fair, the insults are a little later into the debate, but yeah, anytime you have to resort to insults during a debate, you already done goofed. Like, it's bad.
All available peer-reviewed evidence on the subject shows that trans women can lactate. It's perfectly safe and healthy. And, you know, I just want to do what's best for my child. And that's why I'm working
I think the weirdest thing that I saw is so many people were trying to suggest that, like, what she was lactating isn't milk. They kept referring to it as fluid. Like, they refused to accept that it was, like, actual milk. They're just like, they're secreting. Of course, they got to misgender Naomi. So they're like, he is secreting some fluid. It's like, no, it's fucking milk. All right? It's fucking milk. Jesus.
For the doctor in this situation. So I guess I'm curious, like, what your issue with the situation is.
I know you've got like a lot of studies and stuff that you like. You're saying that, like, you know.
Brenda Lee in the chat says cis milk can lactate, or cis men rather can lactate. Yes, they can. There are like often like side effects of certain medications that'll cause lactation. Maybe they have a hormone imbalance in their body that will cause them to lactate, or even in this particular case where we're talking about induced lactation, like in theory, a man can induce lactation and it would fucking work. Now, are there practical applications for a man lactating? I don't think so, right? But having said that, if for some reason you wanted to, you could. You have the necessary hardware within your man teats to do it. It's just there really isn't a practical reason as a man to do it, but you get what I mean.
Backs up that it's the same nutritional value as women's breast milk. Female breast milk or whatever you would call it. I mean, I've seen some people saying that you do some like stuff on like OnlyFans where it's like kind of cow themed and
okay, so we're already getting into the sexuality of it. This is like the thing, right? We saw her like reaction. She was reading an article that was done about her, and they were talking about how they viewed what she was doing with the breast milk lactation and stuff like that. They viewed it as wrong, but then they also ventured into her sex work. Like, or her being very open with her sexuality. I'm sorry, but like, what does Naomi's sexuality or the fact that she does sex work, what does that have to do with her mothering a child and breastfeeding a child? That is really just a really shady tactic to play into the whole, you know, transgender people are creeps and shit like that. That's the only reason for doing that, you know? Jesus.
It's kind of...
So, like, I've worn cow lingerie before. Like, what's the problem with that?
Aiko in the chat says all peepees were once seeds. Oh my god. For those of you guys who don't watch Aiko, which, by the way, if you don't watch Aiko, who's in the chat, definitely watch Aiko. That's like a common meme on her on her stream. All peepees were once seeds. Oh my god.
My accusation is that you are a slut.
Jesus.
I guess it's the optics of it, right? I mean, how it looks from someone on the outside when you're like, you know, you're milking your breasts and then you're like posting your baby on the same Twitter.
I mean, do these people think that people who are parents don't have sex? Like, what is this? You can't be sexual in any way because you're a parent who's like mothering and breastfeeding your child. Like, what is this? It's like I said, it's literally just like a reach. It's literally a reach to just try and make it sexual and make them out to be creeps. But I'm sorry if you're like some fucking incel that doesn't know how real life works. Yes, people who have children still have sex. They do. In fact, most of the time, they wait till the children like go to bed for the night and then they like hook up, like, and they get like really, really, really nasty in the bedroom. All right, like this is a real thing. Jeez, Louise.
That you promote your OnlyFans on,
So to be
It
clear, my Twitter is
like-
completely safe for work.
Naomi TikTok.
Like I don't post any not safe for work content on my Twitter.
And I will say this, after she said that, I did, because she does like have a link to her OnlyFans, not on her Twitter, but she has a Linktree account, and if you click on the Linktree, it leads to like her OnlyFans or whatever, which is fine. You know, I have no personal problem with that. Clearly, this person, for whatever reason, has a problem with it, right? But like, having said that, I looked at her Twitter, and yeah, she's right. It's all NSFW stuff. She does have some like suggestive stuff, but nothing that's nude, and barely even like you couldn't even make an argument for it being lewd. But like, I don't understand what the issue is.
So I keep my baby like completely censored on my Twitter. So they're not in any way related to that. Like those are completely separate.
So your OnlyFans is linked on your Twitter, right?
I have a Linktree on my Twitter.
It says 18 plus on your Twitter account.
Yeah, so I don't post any not safe for work content on my Twitter. I just have that there so like I'm able to discuss mature topics and to make sure that like people that are also able to discuss mature topics can also like interact with my Twitter. But there's no not safe for work content on my Twitter.
You do link the OnlyFans there, right?
There is a Linktree in my Twitter bio.
I guess just from an outside.
I don't understand the issue, right? Because like, are sex workers not allowed to be mothers? Like what? Again, it's just a desperate ploy to try and play into the trans people are like creeps angle, right? And my understanding is this person's trans too, which by the way, did anybody in the chat find out who this person is? I'm still not clear on who maybe I can check on Naomi's Twitter. Let me see. Twitter, because I forget who this is. Let's see. NominalNaomi. NominalNaomi. Let's see. Who is this person she's debating? I checked the description and it wasn't in there. So their @ is Basic Chanel. They go by Aimee. This is the person she's debating. Aimee, Basic Chanel. Okay. This is the person she's debating. And apparently Naomi is claiming that Basic Chanel's attacks against me were too much for TikTok. Jesus, that's funny. Anyway, let's continue.
Optically, I think that's just a very, the kind of main argument against like trans people at the minute, right, is like that, they're all kind of sexual degenerates or whatever.
I'm sorry, do you have an OnlyFans?
No.
Okay. Well, you post like lewds and bikini pics on your Twitter. So like, don't you feed into sexual degeneracy? Like even more than I do, because like you post like active lewds and stuff like bikini pics on your Twitter.
I wouldn't say like a bikini picture is like
to the conservatives, they would also view that as sexual degeneracy.
So like she's like playing into the angle of like, all trans people are like degenerates. So why would you, as a trans person, signal boost something that's very frequently used against trans people, right? Why would you play into that when people are literally trying to use that against you as a trans person? That's fucking, I don't get that.
If you're going to levy this criticism against me, it's completely hypocritical. But also to be clear, like there are like animal girls on Twitter. They can also be moms. They might also be sex workers. Like these things can coexist.
I mean, you're using that as an argument, but I just don't think people would agree that like bikini pictures is the same.
Valhalla Vidya says, Tipster, some of us trans women are forced into that kind of line of work to afford our bills. I've seen some people say that for sure. Like, I don't have a problem with sex workers, whether you're like a cis person in sex work or a trans person in sex work. I support all like sex workers. We don't have an issue with that here. But like it just seems really silly to me that she's trying so hard to make this connection between Naomi being mother who's breastfeeding and Naomi being a sex worker to try and turn her being a mother who's breastfeeding her child into something degenerate, which it's not, right? It's not.
The same as like cow themed OnlyFans content. You can say that.
Well, I don't have cow themed OnlyFans content on my Twitter. I don't have.
Excuse me, trans people aren't sexual degenerates. I know that's a common thing that's used against trans people by the far right to try and demonize them and make them out to be really creepy, like groomers and shit like that. And like for her as a trans woman to like play into that is pretty yikes. Like you're literally using something that people that don't like you as a person try to use as a justification to like eradicate your existence, right? Not allow you to exist. Why would you as a trans person play into that? Right?
that.
Promote the OnlyFans that spreads cow themed content.
That would be like me as a Mexican playing into the whole, like, you know, all Mexicans are violent criminals, you know, that a lot of far right people will use to justify deporting us all from the fucking country. Like, that would be like me playing into that, right?
I have a link tree in my Twitter bio.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so
her OnlyFans content has nothing to do with this debate.
I still think
like, what's the problem?
I mean, I just think it looks bad. I mean, as someone who
okay,
just,
well,
like,
wait. As somebody who, like, sees your bikini pics on Twitter, I think that looks bad because of, like, sexual degeneracy.
I don't think you do, though, and I don't think many people do.
Exactly.
Maybe some people
yeah, neither of us
but...
do. It doesn't look bad. That's the point. Thank you.
But people, I know, people have never said to me, oh, posting a bikini picture is degeneracy, but people have told me that, you know, I've seen people saying that cow-themed OnlyFans content is degenerate. I'm not, like, I'm just saying how it looks.
Okay, so,
you know?
like, they're wrong. Like, they don't have
Sierra in the chat says, being a trans person myself, it makes me upset by these people who want us all gone. This really upset me that they will destroy her for being trans. She should be left alone and be a mother. Yeah, true, pretty much. Yeah, I have like friends that are trans, people that I care a lot about. And so when I see a lot of these people making these really horrible arguments against trans people, and I see a lot of this legislation that's literally trying to erase trans people from existence, like, that shit is fucked up, right? Like, I've had a lot of people ask me, Tipster, why do you care so much about this shit when you're not a trans person yourself? I'm sorry, I don't think I need to be a trans person to give a fuck about people and, like, them having the right to exist and get access to the care they need to survive, okay? Like, I don't have to be trans myself to give a fuck about people. But anyway.
A good reason to say that. I think it's important that we talk about, like, destigmatizing sex work. I think it's important that we talk about things like sex positivity. And I think it's important for people to know that, like, parents can also be, like, sex positive people in their own personal lives.
True.
Like, parents have sex. Parents can be consenting adults with each other. That's why, like, more than one child can exist in a family, because parents can still be consenting adults with each other. And so I want to destigmatize that.
And there's like plenty of families where like a member of the family, like the mother, for example, will be a sex worker, but they're also still a parent, right? You can't not be a parent just because you do sex work. Now, are there like really fucked up people in society who will like shame you or like try to shame your kids because their mom or their dad or whatever is like a sex worker? Yeah. And those people are like fucking like pieces of shit, right? But just because you do sex work doesn't mean you're incapable of being a good parent. Like, this is a fucking stupid thing to say.
That. And I think that a lot of the work I do does help to promote sex positivity and destigmatize that, while also destigmatizing motherhood, while destigmatizing transness. And if somebody's going to be wrong, I'm not going to kiss their boot. I'm going to explain why they're wrong and try to reach out to the reachable people who are wrong.
Yeah, I just don't necessarily think they're wrong, because I don't think it's very, very different between.
Okay,
I think
so how are they correct?
Speak, or can we?
Yeah, tell me how they're correct.
Well, I just think that kind of the link between the cow.
She pulled the Bo Blacks, let me speak.
Let me speak!
Oh my god.
Cow stuff and the kind of.
Wait. I want to hear this part. Hold on.
Well, I just think that kind of the link between the cow stuff and the kind of milk stuff, it feels very like, you know, suspicious, I would say. And I'm not making any.
So because she's done OnlyFans content where she wears like lingerie that's got like cow print on it, and because she's lactating to produce milk for her child, that's sus?
What the fuck is happening?
How does that make any sense? How does that make any... Can somebody make it make sense to me? Like, Jesus.
Well, I think it's just,
you know, like, how many fucking e-girls who do like OnlyFans content have worn like similar like cow print fucking like saucy like lingerie or whatever the fuck? Like, what is this? This is dumb.
It seems like there's a theme of something.
It seems like she doesn't have like a real argument.
But you can deny that, and obviously I don't know what your intentions are.
Valhalla Vidya in the chat says this is so bizarre. True.
This is so bizarre.
Like, her whole angle with this is making Naomi out to be a creep. That's her goal. She's playing into the trans people are creeps and groomers and pedophiles angle. That's literally what she's doing.
Like, that's all I can say on that.
So all you have is like a bit of a suspicion or like a tummy ache? That's all that you're going off of? Okay, I want to be clear. There is nothing sexual about breastfeeding a child.
Nope.
Like, that's fucking crystal clear. And if you're going to try to, if you're trying to like paint me as some like sexual deviant or because I have...
It sounds like the other trans person is just trying to keep degeneracy accusations off herself by leaning into degeneracy other trans people are unfairly being accused of. Yeah, it kind of seems like that, honestly. Like, she very much has like similar debate tactics to like the Kelly Cadigan debate, right? Where they're like, hey, I'm going to lean into a lot of these narratives that the far right presses against like trans people to kind of save my own ass, right? It really feels that way.
Like posted cow laundry.
Which Kelly Cadigan is like a weird one for me because Kelly Cadigan, like she's really outspoken against minors transitioning, but she transitioned as a minor herself. Like, I'm not saying I agree with Kelly Cadigan's arguments because I don't, but Kelly Cadigan's arguments would make more sense to me at the very least if she was a detransitioner. But Kelly Cadigan is not a detransitioner. So she makes some very bizarre arguments against minor transitions when she herself transitioned as a minor and she's not a detransitioner. It's very bizarre.
Picks before. I think that's a fucking reach. That is disgusting. And you're the one who is implying sexualization of children, not me.
Well, I guess people have told me, not to engage in this debate.
It's kind of true though. I mentioned this, I think when I did my original coverage of the situation. I have not seen trans people talk so much about like sexual degeneracy in the trans community or talk about like trans people's genitals and shit like that as much as people who genuinely hate trans people talk about that shit. Like their whole goal, right? Their whole goal is to make trans people out to be a bunch of creeps and weirdos, right? But they literally talk about like trans people's sexuality and their genitals far more than any other trans person I've ever heard talk about that stuff. Literally.
I'm like kind of, I shouldn't even engage.
Like I would go as far as to say that like trans people who are actually into like really crazy off the wall sexual shit, I've heard them talk about that shit less than someone who's like legitimately a transphobe. It's fucking bizarre.
Someone who does that kind of thing. I disagree. I think
you shouldn't engage with me. Why are you here?
Well, anyway, I'm doing it because I think I should engage.
Kaylin says, I mean, Leafy couldn't shut up about Keffel's genitals. Yeah, like his whole thing was like talking about her genitals. It was very fucking weird.
You just said that you shouldn't engage with me. So which one is it?
People told me that I shouldn't. If you listen, properly.
So they're wrong.
Okay, they're wrong then. If you can say they're wrong.
Yeah, it's pretty clear that these people are wrong. Like consistently, they're just wrong, and I'm trying to demonstrate why they're wrong.
I guess so. I guess if you think that's fine. But like, can we move to the next? Because I've got about like 20 minutes.
Okay, so to be clear, there's nothing wrong that I've done here.
Yeah, everyone, you've heard her. She's not done anything wrong.
But you agree?
You're saying I can't tell you to admit you're wrong. It's like I can't.
Okay, so you
why is she wrong? You've given no like actual reasoning for stating that she's wrong. So why?
Literally nothing. Fantastic.
Okay.
Do you have any concerns about like the health of my child? Do you have any concerns about like trans women lactating in general?
Next. What else was going to get onto? So basically, I guess this whole
off topic, but Kristen Ark in the chat says, why am I hearing I'm potentially being sent a cease and desist about Blair? I don't know anything about you being sent a cease and desist, but Oz Media was in my chat earlier saying that back in 2021, she was considering suing me for my coverage, I'm assuming on the Cruel World Happy Mind stuff, which is insanely bizarre to me. But apparently she sent a cease and desist to Wonderstruck. So I don't know anything about you. I'm not sure why people are telling you that, but yeah, apparently Wonderstruck was sent a cease and desist today.
This whole choice to lactate, is very much about the kind of you're telling me this like I saw you tweet today that like your doctor's not concerned, right? But she's still doing more tests. You said that, right? So
she's doing some general like blood tests to monitor my health. Yeah.
Yeah, so there's the biological mother is your partner, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, the person. So she is fine to breastfeed the child, I assume.
No, she has problems with lactation. So the baby is currently on formula, and given the profound benefits of breast milk, I want to be able to supplement my child's diet.
You
No worries, Chris. Good to see you. Hope you're doing well lately.
have problems with lactation as well because you.
It's been a while since we chatted. We should catch up soon.
Synthetically make yourself do it. So you've also got problems with lactation.
Well, actually, I'm lactating quite fine, and I'm actually producing more milk than the biological mother.
Okay. But.
And I don't have any problems with lactation. The lactation induction process has been going actually better than expected. My body was like made to milk. It seems.
Yeah, you must be more real than like a biological woman. Sounds like.
I never said that. I just said that the lactation induction process has been going very smoothly and better than expected.
Jeez.
Yeah, I mean, all my points are the kind of stuff that I said to you online anyway. You know, I've not got much more.
So wait, what's the issue? You seem like you were raising an issue, and now you're just like backing down. Like, what's your issue?
Yeah, I mean, it's really weird to me, like how many people are like so concerned about what Naomi is doing in her personal life and how she's chosen to like care for her child, right? I mean, if there are literal studies that show that not only is this possible and it's also safe, and Naomi has the studies to back that up, and her doctor obviously doesn't see any problem with it because they're the ones that helped induce the lactation for her. I don't understand why there are so many fucking deranged people on the internet that are genuinely this concerned with what she's doing in her personal life with her own child. I can understand if she was doing something that was genuinely abusive to the child, but she's not. Breastfeeding is something that lots of people do to their children, and it doesn't cause any harm to the child. And again, in the case of this, a trans woman who is lactating, inducing lactation, and giving the milk through the lactation to the child, there are studies that show that there's nothing harmful about this. So I genuinely do not understand why people are so concerned about what she's doing in her personal life. It's very bizarre.
I illustrated this.
And this seems to be a common thing on the internet where people are like hyper fucking obsessed with what people are doing in their personal lives. It's just ridiculous.
I think this whole thing seems to be your experience of breastfeeding. It seems to be put before, you know, the child itself.
I'm sorry. Wait. How am I putting my?
How is that being put before the child? The whole purpose of her lactating is so she can provide nutrients through breast milk to the child. Like it's part of her taking care of the. Oh my God, this doesn't make any sense.
Experience before the health of the child. When I'm going to a doctor, when I am diving into the peer-reviewed literature myself to make sure that everything I'm doing is safe, when I'm getting tests run by my doctor to make sure everything is safe, when I am triple checking everything, how is that putting the health of, like, how is that putting myself above the child?
People telling trans people that we ignore the basic biology while trying to suggest there's something wrong with trans titty milk just gets me reeling. I mean, for real. I mean, there's literally they constantly appeal to biology and science, but these motherfuckers, so many of them don't even realize the fact that yes, assigned male at birth bodies can lactate. It is possible, right? Jesus. Let's appeal to biology and science when we don't know what the fuck we're talking about.
Hold on. Retard break. I need a retard break. Give me a retard break for like 2 fucking minutes, okay? I can't keep listening to fucking retards.
And I want to destigmatize this experience for other queer parents, for other trans mothers, for other trans women that want to breastfeed their children. Like, there is so much hate and vitriol that is thrown the way of trans parents in general, but a trans woman that wants to lactate, I've been facing literal death threats. People that are trying to dox me and call child protective services, thinking that they know better than
Imagine engaging in this level of harassment against a trans mother because she's taking care of her child. Dude, this is so fucking weird. The level of obsession that people have with other people's personal lives.
My doctor, and I think that's disgusting. Like, these people are just wrong.
What Naomi is doing is essentially being a wet nurse. Yeah, pretty much.
And I am putting the health of my child first and foremost. I want to supplement their current formula diet with breast milk, with the profound benefits and nutrients of breast milk. And I'm working with a doctor to make sure I can do so as safe and healthy as possible.
Yeah. Yeah.
So how am I putting myself above the child?
All right, one sec. Get some more in the talk.
What is this? Somebody in the chat was saying human milk is always superior to powder milk. Doesn't matter if cis or trans. Yeah, this is true. There's actually, can I find this documentary? There's actually a documentary by a YouTube channel I really enjoy. I forget the name of the YouTube channel, but there's a documentary that exposes how harmful breast milk, or not breast milk, powder milk can be for kids. Let me see, powder milk exposed. Maybe if I look that up, I'll find it. But I watched this and like it's crazy how legitimately harmful like powdered milk is for kids. Jesus, where is this? I wish I could remember the name of the YouTube channel. If I could find it when I post this as a video, I'll link it in the description. Or somebody, like if you happen to be watching this and you're commenting on the video, if I don't link this, remind me in the comment section, because there's a really good documentary on a YouTube channel that exposes like really fucked up shit on like the history of like powdered milk and how it could actually be harmful to kids. Like I'll definitely link that for you guys when I find it. I couldn't find it right now, but anyway, let's continue.
Awesome. Yeah. 1 second. Let me just like
Yeah.
Sorry.
I'm really interested how I'm putting myself above the child. That's what I asked you about.
So yeah, sorry, I just kind of zoned out a little bit.
Oh yeah, so what I asked you was how am I putting myself above my child?
I guess well, there's no long-term research on this either, right? You can't like.
Oh, are you aware of like long-term research on like cis women's breast milk and like kids being raised?
I think we know that just through the kind of historical, kind of just that women have done it since.
Wait, where's the long-term research? You're completely disingenuous with your concerns about long-term research. You're just appealing to ignorance here. All available research we have shows that this is completely
like you don't want to talk about like try and cite like research that's against like Naomi's point when you don't actually know what you're talking about, right? Because like holy shit, Naomi is like not only like an awesome debater, but she knows what she's talking about when she comes into a debate. I actually want to show you guys this. And I mentioned this in my last coverage of this situation. I mentioned that because obviously I'm a big supporter of trans people and trans rights and stuff like that. And I've done a lot of research on topics on my own. But NominalNaomi has legitimately become an extremely valuable resource for someone like me who's still learning. Because if you go to her Twitter account, let me actually show this to you guys. You go to her Twitter account, you go to her link tree. She has this link called Research Master Doc, and it literally dives into every bit of research she has ever done on trans issues. It's literally cataloged in a way that makes it super easy to find any information that she studied, the studies, the peer-reviewed studies she's looked at. Like here we have lactation in trans women. She literally has a category for that, and she goes over all the research that she's done on the topic. She provides all of the studies that she's referenced in order to support her position on it. Like this chick is no joke. Like she goes hard to back up any stance that she defends. I actually want to link this master doc to you guys so you guys can check it out in your free time. Like if you ever have any questions about really popular trans issues, this master doc is a valuable resource. Like I've had other people who, like myself, have expressed an interest in learning about trans issues, and like people who ask me, I'm just like, look at this doc. Like this doc is like super helpful in understanding a lot of this stuff.
Safe and healthy. There is no difference in the nutritional contents of trans women's breast milk versus cis women's breast milk. The hormones which I take are perfectly safe to use while breastfeeding. This has been known in the peer-reviewed literature for decades now. Like, your concerns about this long-term stuff are completely disingenuous. And you don't even know about long-term research on cis women's breast milk. So, like, why are you being so disingenuous?
Time to look this stuff up, so I'm like...
Actually, I do know why you're being disingenuous. You did tweet about it. You had this conversation with a guy named Basil, who said nothing will be gained.
Dude, she brought the receipts. Like I told you, Naomi don't play.
Oh shit! Oh shit!
like I'm not gonna lie. I've become, because I like watching like political debates done by like Twitch streamers and like YouTubers and stuff like that. It's a good like sort of passing thing that I find a lot of entertainment in. But like holy shit, like this chick is, she's like god tier when it comes to these fucking debates. I've become a big fanboy of NominalNaomi and her debates.
Put some clout for you, which is what you're in it for. Go AWF, secure your bag, and you replied with a heart. Like, you literally admitted to just being in this for the clout.
You can't take Basil seriously. I'm not in it for the clout. I clearly, like, I think
when Basil said that you're only to gain clout from this, you replied with a heart. What is that supposed to mean?
Dude,
joking about, sis. Come on.
Wait. Why didn't you say, no, I'm not in for this clout. I want to prove to Naomi that she is not taking the health of her child seriously. Like, why didn't you correct him? Like, if you're really not just in it for the clout, why would you respond with a heart when that's what he said?
I'm just here to promote my film, you know. That's the only reason I'm here.
Maximum in the chat says, don't go for things people self-research that are given on the web. Listen to center scientists. I think you're saying, like, trust the science. Dude, like, the resource I provided literally provides sources to peer-reviewed studies. Like, what are you on about? Like, literally, look at this. Hold on. So there we have, like, she does the research, but she's also, like, providing links to actual scientific peer-reviewed studies. So, like, what are you on about? The science literally backs up her position on lactation in trans women. What? Dude.
I'm joking.
It's really clear that you don't care about this. You are being disingenuous, and you just want clout. And I think that's despicable.
Okay, let me just, like, can Mother speak for a bit?
About what? Can you tell me, like, what you meant when you replied with a heart?
Kaylin in the chat says, I used to be anti-trans till I came out as trans. I was listening to Vosh, a cis guy defending gender affirmation for youth. That gave me the courage to listen to trans people and accept myself. That's awesome. Congratulations. You seem like you were one of those ones that was experiencing gender dysphoria, but you were like in denial, right? And so when you heard somebody who was like an ally supporting trans people, it really opened up your mind to like feel a little bit more comfortable coming out. And I think that's super awesome. Congratulations.
I'm just trying to be non-hostile to Basil, you know. Basil's a very, like, you know...
Did you link it already? I'll go take a quick look. Yeah, I'll go ahead. I linked it already in the chat, but I'll go ahead and I'll post the link again. As a matter of fact, to make it more easy for you, I'll even pin it in the chat during this segment. Here you go.
Interesting character on Twitter. I don't know if you're aware of him. Like, he's
and like I said, as somebody who, like, I already have like a pretty good knowledge of like trans issues, but I'm still learning a lot of things. Like, one of the things I want to dive into in her doc, because I'm still kind of like on the fence about it, is trans people in sports. And she has a whole study on that as well. So I'll be looking into that as well, because I haven't formulated an opinion on trans people in sports just yet, but I'll be diving into her research on this to try and find out, you know, more info on it. And I'll also be doing research of my own, because I want to formulate my own opinion on this, because I'll be honest, just like maybe a few months ago, like, I was totally 100% against transitioning in minors, right? Gender affirming care in minors. And I'm not against it anymore. Like, I've done the research and I've looked into it and formulated like a different opinion. But yeah, this has been like a super valuable resource that I always share with like other people, because I think it like will help answer a lot of questions that a lot of people have.
Transphobic, I would say. So I'm kind of like...
Okay. So why don't you like correct him?
I mean, he's a hard person to reason with, you know. I've spoken to him like extensively in the DMs.
If he's hard to reason with and you don't think you can correct him, why are you interacting with him?
Can you let me speak, please? Just stop.
Yeah,
dude, she did it again. She pulled the Bo Blacks. Let me speak. Let me speak! Jesus.
You just be like... I'm like, you know, actually consistently try and make a case to the right, the transsexual... right, so transsexual acceptance is important, that transsexual people aren't degenerates and stuff, and like the way to cure gender dysphoria
okay. So the way to convince them that you're not a degenerate is just to prove that you're a clout shark? Like, clout sharking is so degenerate. Jesus. All you're doing is telling him, yes, I'm a clout shark, heart, I agree. Like, that's what you're doing to prove that you're not a degenerate? Is telling him that you're a clout shark? What?
Yeah, you like the side of Twitter is very
Honestly, that makes a lot of sense because like Nominal Naomi has a shit ton of attention on her right now because of this situation. So like to try and capitalize off of doing a debate with her for clout, like it makes sense. I wouldn't doubt it, honestly.
And kind of it's hard to explain it. You need like a lot of like context to like
Yeah, I understand irony. Yeah, it just
Uber in the chat is saying Jangle Science Lad. I think that's how you say that.
Thanks for the money, you fucking simp.
Thank you.
Bitchless Witch donated 1,000 Hungarian forints.
Thank
Hi
you.
tipster. New here. BB Blair B. Lead me here lover vids on it. Seeing wonders vid made me wish I could reach through screen to hug him. Stay happy.
Thank you very much for that super chat. I do appreciate it. So you're saying Jangle Science Lad, I hope I pronounced that right, is also a good resource for the transport issues. I'll look into that. Thank you.
like it seems like you're openly admitting to being a clout shark to someone that you're trying to convince that you're not a degenerate. Was your stated goal here?
Does Naomi have a YouTube channel? Is she the one wearing the glasses? Yes, we're actually watching this on her YouTube channel. If you want, that's not what I wanted. If you want a link to the channel, there you go. There you go.
Well, can you let me like have the mic for a bit? You know.
Yeah, I'm asking you questions. Just answer my questions. It's pretty simple.
So you're saying I'm like saying is I'm a clout shark or whatever. It's like the side of Twitter that I exist on is kind of like there's a lot of irony. It's very like self-deprecating.
Oh, so you're not a clout shark?
Caitlin in the chat says, as a trans person, we need more unbiased studies on the effects of HRT on the body, but any sport that has no potential advantages based on gender, like skateboarding, should be left alone. Yeah, I think that's a fair take. I'm not comfortable commenting too much on that particular issue because, again, like I haven't had the chance to like sit down and actually do my own research on it, so I haven't formulated my own opinion. I'm admittedly still on the fence about the trans sports issue, but that is something that, like I said before, I want to take a look at and kind of like fill myself in on it.
Oh, clout shark. I mean, if I was a clout shark, I would just become like a, I would just say...
Also, be sure to follow Naomi's TikTok. If you're a TikTok user, that's where she has most of her following. I think she has over like 100,000 followers over on TikTok. So that's like her main platform.
Every right-wing talking point about trans people, I would go like, oh, trans women every day. I don't. I literally call out TERFs. I call out right-wing people. I kind of like...
Unless they're like attacking me, at which point you're siding with them. When in this conversation, we've demonstrated that your arguments against me...
Yeah, that's fair. That's my view based on my own research, but there's lots of concern trolling around the topic, so I understand being so hesitant. I mean, yeah, you're right. There is a lot of concern trolling. I mean, I feel like with a lot of trans issues, there's a lot of concern trolling that happens. I mean, look at this situation. Like, so many people are trying to position this as it's some kind of fetish for Naomi, and like she's somehow abusing the child by breastfeeding like this. Like, there's a lot of that concern trolling that happens, and a lot of it, they usually play into like concern trolling over kids. So like, yeah, I see that a lot with pretty much any topic that involves trans issues.
Have no validity, but you're not trying to protect me when I'm doing something that's not wrong. I don't know. It doesn't really seem like you're not doing what you said a clout shark would.
You, Naomi, this thing. If you can't, just let me speak. I tried to explain some stuff to you.
Yeah, your explanation doesn't add up. That's the problem.
Yeah. You're just like, just shut up with your nasally fucking voice and let me speak for a second, bitch.
Maxim1 in the chat says, we need to talk to each other about sometime. Seems you're really misguided on some issues, not all, but some. Like, what do you mean? I formulated my opinions based on my own, like, looking into this. And then also, just like Naomi here, like, studies that actually represent the positions I've taken on stuff like this. So I don't understand. Like, where do you feel that I might be misguided?
Yeah, it's
I'm
like...
sorry, why would you call me that? That's very rude.
Hey, Tipster, will you upload this debate reaction as a segment? Yes, I will be doing that.
I've been nothing but respectful here.
Like, you're calling me a clout shark.
Yeah, because you admitted to it on public Twitter.
You won't let me speak. I'm not going to go because I have places to be.
She did it again, chat. Let me speak! Jesus.
I have shit to do, and I've like...
You've called me a bitch. You've called me fetishistic. Also, on Twitter, you said that I am a autistic AGP vibe, Ben Shapiro energy. Like, what do you mean by that? Like, what does that mean?
Sorry, no, also gynophile is like someone who like, they've got like a inverted sexuality that makes them kind of want to be a woman. That's what causes their dysphoria.
That's not me. I'm just a trans woman. So, like, what makes me autistic AGP Ben Shapiro?
I mean, the way you're speaking now, the kind of like the fast delivering points, and just speaking over me.
I'm asking you questions.
You got the vibe.
I literally just asked you a question. That's not like Ben Shapiro's known tactic is gish galloping, where he goes off and delivers a lot of points. That's not what I'm doing. I'm just asking you to explain what you said on Twitter. And you said that I give off an autistic...
Dude, she has no arguments at all. What?
AGP Ben Shapiro vibe. And I just don't know what that means. Can you please explain that to me?
If you let me... Well, I've got your other point to respond to because you were like... You interrupted me in that one. So can I finish that one when you were saying, yeah, clout shark, whatever? Can I finish that one without you interrupting?
Well, I mean, I asked you your questions and you just weren't making any sense.
Can you promise me you won't interrupt?
Well, if you don't make sense, then I'm gonna have to like jump in. But if you make sense, then I won't interrupt.
Else to speak then. It's all about you. It's like the baby thing. It's like this. It's
I'm
all
sorry,
about...
I disproved that point, and you actually conceded that point. So why are you bringing that back up again?
This is what I mean. Autistic Ben Shapiro energy. This is it. It's like, you know...
Oh my god.
I don't get... Like, can you explain that?
All she's doing is asking you questions that you refuse to answer.
I can't have the conversation with you because you won't let me defend myself from the clout shark allegations.
I'm asking you a question. Like, you have no arguments. You have never had an argument in this entire debate. Like, your performance is honestly pathetic. Like, I was actually expecting more from this, but I really want to know...
Bro, if you're a trans person advocating for trans people, how can you be like Ben Shapiro? Jeez.
About the autistic AGP Ben Shapiro thing? Because that's really curious. Yeah. I would love to hear more about that.
So
trans sports, like for example, and the real world effects, which are blatantly opposite of the study, but I'm off. It's midnight here. Maximum, I didn't give a stance. Why? Okay, Maximum, I have to ask you this question. I know you said you're heading out because it's midnight, but genuine fucking question. Everybody in this chat, one in the chat, if you just heard me say that I am not declaring a stance on trans people in sports because I'm not informed enough on the topic. How are you saying that I made an argument in favor of that when I literally said I'm not informed enough on this? I have to do the research on this topic still. So how are you saying I stated a position on that topic when I literally said I'm not going to comment on that because I'm not informed enough on the topic? What are you talking about, bro? You've gone full retard.
As many of you know, I am retarded.
You're literally saying I took a stance on a position that I said that I'm not commenting on because I don't have a stance on the fucking position yet. I still need to do the research, bro. That's literally what I said.
Can I defend myself from being a clout shark, or am I not allowed to do that?
I mean, you already did and failed. I'd like to talk about the AGP Ben Shapiro.
Oh my god. Please don't make me go full Hassan Piker on you and scream at you in my chat. I really don't want to do that right now. Please don't make me do that.
Here now.
Should I finish? Like, I can't do it. If you're not going to let me finish, I can't say anything.
Sure, defend yourself from being a clout shark.
Okay,
you can say the same thing for a fourth time. It still won't make more sense.
You're freaking insane. Like, let me talk, please.
Please go for it.
Let women speak.
I'm waiting.
Oh my god.
Okay, so I attack you. But I also attack plenty of people who are like Matt Walsh.
Dude, this chick is sloshed. She's had quite a few drinks before this debate. Oh god.
Type in Matt Walsh.
Now I understand the title. Sloshed Clout Shark demolished and oh my god.
My Twitter and see what the things I said about that boy. Like, check like anyone. Like I make when people try and say trans people are narcissistic. I've defended stuff like that. I've made
okay.
See, you won't let me finish. I've made the case that, like, HRT is really important to defend.
Maxim in the chat says, then do that. Oh my god, dude. You said it was midnight. Go get some sleep because clearly you're delirious and you're hearing me say things that I didn't fucking say. Go get some fucking sleep, my dude. Holy shit.
And we shouldn't let it, like, be banned, all this kind of shit. Like, if I didn't want to,
Hey, Ginger, that's good.
I'd be like, oh, it's not, they're taking the kids away.
I figured it out. It's only when something personally affects you that you go after it. See, Matt Walsh wants trans people either in camps or dead, And HRT is something that's very important for you. So, you know, it seems that you only come out to play defense for things that personally affect you. And that's also a pretty common Kraut Shark tactic, where they only really care about defending the things that affect them personally. So you actually just proved my point even further. So thank you for clarifying that. And now I'd love to get back to the Ben Shapiro autistic AGP comments. Like, what do you mean by that? Can you explain that to me?
Dude, at this point, Naomi has already like cooked her ass and fucking destroyed her. Now she's just playing with her fucking food at this point. Oh my god. I'm no simp. I'd call Tippy out any day, but in my opinion, he was clear he still has research to do on the sports issue. Yeah, 100%. And hey, I love having a chat that if I'm wrong about something, call me out on that shit, right? Call me out on it 100%. But yeah, like that dude was like putting words in my mouth saying that I took a position on the transport issue when I literally never took a position on it. I literally said I still need to do the research.
Doesn't affect me. So spoken about that.
The milk? Wait, what?
The milk thing doesn't.
Exactly. Yeah, that's why you don't care to defend me on it, because it doesn't affect you personally. That was my point. Does that make sense?
I don't get affected by any of this shit. Like, I pass as a woman. I don't have to deal with, like, transfer. I can just be
That has nothing to do with what I asked. I'm asking you about the autistic AGP Ben Shapiro. Like, what do you mean by that?
It's about getting affected.
Did you really think it was a good idea to get drunk for this debate?
Someone.
Oh my god! Dude, you know what this is right now? Holy shit. I'll show you what this is right now. This is Naomi right now with this Aimee chick or whatever the fuck her name is. Let me see if I can find this meme. This is literally it right now. Hopefully I don't get copyright claimed for this because it's too good not to fucking use. Holy shit. Here we go, chat. Here we go.
He's already dead.
Oh my god. Just change he to she, and it's literally that right there.
Someone in the room is trying to. I just can't. Look,
It's not about taking effect personally, but about just, you know, disagreeing with something. That's the whole point.
Oh shit, she had to tag team in her partner to help her in this one.
Yeah.
Going at something.
I mean, I disagreed with it. I thought it was bad optics. I think it looks weird. I think it looks.
Yeah, but we already disproved that point. Like, you conceded that point.
So she's appealing to, like, feelings. Feels over facts.
You literally conceded that point to me. So wait, I asked you about the autistic AGP Ben Shapiro comments. Can you, like, explain that to me?
Yeah, you give off the energy of an autistic AGP.
What does that mean?
So you give off
Oh my
major
God.
autism. You know, giving.
Is something wrong with that?
No, I mean, no. I mean, I said it as a positive. I said I was worried about debating you because I thought you'd be very good at it because you give off autistic.
I mean, she is good at it. She's fucking destroying you. She owned you to hell and back. Dear Lord.
AGP, Ben Shapiro energy. It was a compliment, if anything.
Okay.
There you go.
Okay, so autism's a good thing.
In some ways, it makes people they're very systematizing brains. You know, it's very good for this situation. Now,
Yeah, we love autism around here. I was literally like talking to Boblex on Twitter like before this stream, and I was literally begging him to give me his autistic superpowers.
I have AUT, ISM, autism.
Autistic people are based.
I bet all your fans are like, yes, girl. You know, you're winning this.
Yeah, that's pretty clear. Okay. So I guess autistic AGP Ben Shapiro vibes is a good thing. Okay, glad we got that covered. Let's see. So you also said that you're sorry to all the transsexuals who have to deal with being represented by people like this. I'm so embarrassed. So I'm wondering how that's a good thing. Because you said that you're embarrassed by all the transsexuals who have to deal with being represented by people like me. So that kind of contradicts what you just said. So like, why would you why would you just lie to my face like that?
Well, no, this your debate stuff.
Dude, this is somebody dialed 911 because we just witnessed a fucking murder. Like, dude, this chick she's debating is coping.
You are coping and seething. You just can't accept what you're seeing. Yes, you're coping and seething. The truth it is scalding coping so hard.
Now you guys see why I like watching her debates. Now you guys see why I like watching these kind of debates. Oh my god, it's so fun.
Style is like, it's impressive. That's the autistic Ben Shapiro AGP thing.
Yeah, but you're sorry to all the transsexuals who have to deal with being represented by people like me.
Can you let me finish?
Please explain.
Okay, so
why should trans people be like offended by the fact that someone like NominalNaomi is using their platform to literally defend their existence and their rights? Like, why should they find that offensive?
So the autistic Ben Shapiro, you know, that kind of it's a double-edged sword, right? Because it makes you really good in this situation. But I don't think you have the social awareness to see how you actually look. I think when you
wait, so are you taking back the fact that it's a compliment and now you're stating that it's an insult? What?
In, you know, that weird photo with the smirk with the milk, it's kind of I mean, they call that face the AGP smirk on and it's like,
what?
It looks weird. Yeah, I mean, yeah, they call it that, and it's kind of.
Bro, what is this? I touch grass. I don't know what that means.
She's bothered by.
I'm not sure if you drew that. It's like, but
I'm going to show you guys the picture she's talking about.
That's a double-edged sword because it's like you're doing all this.
I literally went to the park with my kids the other day. Like, I touch grass. I don't know what the AGP smirk means.
Okay, milky content on OnlyFans.
Okay,
baby, it just looks bad.
I don't have milking content on OnlyFans.
She's so triggered by this picture.
Okay, I'm not. I don't know.
Also, like, lactation content is banned on OnlyFans. Like, you would know that with a quick Google search.
Have you seen this, Naomi? Wait, did she try to... Hold on. Did she try to accuse her of making lactation content on OnlyFans?
I don't know what the AGP smirk means.
Okay.
Apparently it's this.
Milky content on OnlyFans. Baby, it just looks bad.
I don't have milking content on OnlyFans. That's a lie.
Okay, I'm not... I don't know.
Also, like... lactation content is banned on OnlyFans. Like, you would know that with a quick Google search.
Have you seen this Naomi TikTok?
I've never been on it, so I don't... So, but you do...
My message keeps not going through. There's a concerted effort to say trans people just have autism, and I guess that means we can't make decisions for our bodies. Yeah, that's, like, really, really fucking dumb. Really, really dumb.
Cow-themed content, right?
Why is YouTube censoring like autism? I understand some people use autism as an insult, but there's also like valid reasons to say autism. Like what?
I have worn cow lingerie before because I like cows. I have a cow stuffy because I like cows. There's nothing wrong with liking cows, Aimee.
This Naomi TikTok?
Yo, she's like Rum with pigs. Rum has a thing for like pigs, but she has one for cows.
People going through this huge process to be able to lactate.
So wait. You said that you're sorry to all the transsexuals who have to deal with being represented by people like me. You're so embarrassed.
It looks bad. It looks bad. You know, you want to like...
Why?
Aimee, you conceded that point. Stop going back to a point which you have conceded to me on this very stream.
Why does it look bad to be... I don't get it. Like... Naomi is easily like one of the most outspoken like advocates for trans people, and as a trans person herself, like she knows that experience better than any like cis person like myself who supports trans people, right? So I don't understand. She's like the perfect example of someone who could be speaking out in support of trans rights. Why should anybody who's a trans person be disappointed in having her as a representative for them? I know I have trans people in my chat. One in the chat, if you are proud to have someone like Naomi represent your rights.
Naomi, I did not concede that it looks bad. Like people say,
I literally told you the reasons why it's not bad, and you agreed with me. You agreed with me. I asked you multiple times, and you eventually reluctantly agreed with me because you're a little snake. So, like, stop going back to a point which you've already conceded, and please tell me why you're embarrassed to be represented by people like me. People who actually have a spine. People who are actually going to defend themselves against people who are wrong.
Okay, so, like, this is my closing thought because I have to go. I'm really sorry. It's been I'm speaking to you.
Oh my god.
Basically, you saying it's wrong. You think it's wrong, but people find it disgusting, and that's objectively true. That they find it disgusting. You can't deny.
Do you know how many things that are perfectly fine that people find disgusting? Should we just like outlaw and get rid of everything that people find disgusting? What?
That right? Some
Wait,
people
people find you to be objectively disgusting. People
Yes!
find the existence
Yes!
of trans people to be objectively disgusting. That's a dog shit argument against something.
There are literal actual fucking transphobes and people on the far right that think that your existence is disgusting. So to make that argument, you're literally speaking against your own fucking existence. What the fuck? Oh my god.
That's actually the appeal to emotion fallacy. In fact, it's a non-argument. Your only argument is people find it disgusting. You're a trans person. People find you disgusting. Trying to say that like trans people are disgusting, therefore we shouldn't like exist is that's literally what the transphobes say about us.
We finish because I really do have to go. You know, I have
You can go whenever you need to. That's totally fine. Yeah.
Shut up, Megan in the chat says some people find the sound of chewing disgusting. Should we all stop eating now? True.
As you say. People probably do find me disgusting.
Amanda Lancaster in the chat says there are people who find cis women breastfeeding disgusting. Yeah, this is true.
But like, I wouldn't say as many as someone who does cow-themed OnlyFans and posts their baby
To the
on the same.
conservatives, they want us all in camps. Aimee, it doesn't matter. Like, we need to prove to them why they're wrong, to reach out to...
Yeah, it's true. Just like Esmond in the chat says, trying to be the last one on the train to the camps. Yeah, it seems... Oh my god.
Those who are reachable.
I mean, that's why I wanted to have... I did actually not want to talk about the milk that much, and I wanted to talk about...
Oh my god, Cucko in the chat says, people find poop disgusting. We should ban being able to poop. Oh my god.
Other stuff, but...
Oh, you didn't want to talk about the milk, and that's why you agreed to a debate with me?
I told you in DM that I was like, I would like to speak about a wider conception of this
Yeah,
whole...
we can talk about, like, wider trans issues, but you said you gotta go.
No, I do have to go.
Oh, okay.
I'm really sorry, but it was lovely speaking to you. And maybe another time if you'll accept me if I'm not too horrible.
Yeah, well, thanks for coming on to discuss the conversation. Yeah, have a lovely party, and I would recommend not getting drunk when you go to debate someone next time. It makes it...
Damn!
Oh shit!
Oh my god! I have to hear that again. That was so good.
Thanks for coming on to discuss the conversation. Yeah, have a lovely party, and I would recommend not getting drunk when you go to debate someone next time. It makes it a lot harder. So have a lovely night.
Goodbye.
Holy shit, that was embarrassing. Oh my goodness. Wow. Okay, that was fire. Yeah, what do you think she was drinking in that Tucker Carlson cup? Like, she got more slosh as the debate went around. So it was so funny. She had like 3 points with 0 arguments to back up any of her points, and she walked them back and conceded every single point instantly under even the most mild interrogation of her points.
That was a
Everyone
murder,
she
chat.
conceded
We literally just
instantly.
witnessed
That
a
is
fucking
crazy.
murder.
I would not let her speak uninterrupted. Yeah, she wasn't making any sense, and she was saying things that were wrong, and she was repeating points which she had
there's
already...
nothing wrong with like if somebody's saying something like wrong and you're like interjecting to correct them, like there's nothing wrong with that.
conceded. I'm not gonna let her get away with like bad faith tactics like that, and incoherent tactics and contradictions. Woo! That was crazy. So I think that it might be nice to like go over some of the research we have on like trans women lactating.
Okay, so the rest of the video is just her going over the research in the doc that I already linked. If you guys want to check out that, I'll link it in the description of the YouTube video version of this as well as this debate, so you can check out all that stuff for yourself. But holy shit, man. I'm telling you, this is why I love watching Naomi's debates, because god damn. She comes with the receipts and she knows what the fuck she is doing. Let's get some massive W's in the chat for NominalNaomi and the way she just literally destroyed her. Dear Lord. All right, chat. I'm sorry to interrupt the gameplay portion of our stream, but I got this information right now. It was just sent to me. And this is fucking insane. All right. People are so worked up about this situation with NominalNaomi that she just tweeted about this not long ago. Somebody tweeted she has pictures of, or they're misgendering. He has pictures of his infant on OnlyFans. She quotes this with, "This is not true, spreading these disgusting lies and trying to dox me in that very thread is a vile act of violence. Change and grow as a person. They filed a police report and the police correctly told them that working with a doctor to induce lactation is not a crime." These people are so worked up over a mother just caring for her child because she's trans that they're doxing her and filing false police reports against her and literally spreading lies about how she's exploiting her child in OnlyFans content. What the fuck is wrong with people? Like, you are genuinely vile pieces of shit. The people that are doing this to Naomi, you are literally vile pieces of human fucking garbage. Literally go fuck yourselves for this. Literally go fuck yourselves for this awful fucking shit. I actually want to check this out real quick. Let me see. You guys can't see this, right? Okay, good. Yeah, they're posting private information about her in the thread. Literally posting private information about her in the thread. Literally spreading lies about her posting content featuring her child on OnlyFans. Posting photos of her before transition. Literally vile, disgusting people. Absolutely garbage fucking humans. This is the kind of people that, unfortunately, trans people have to deal with every day. Vile fucking monsters like these people.